Hello, welcome back to Luna Rosa Ranch. We're here again today with Miss Drama, and we start out our session today working on a little bit of doubling, which is another way of saying doing a turn on the haunches. So I stand her up next to the wall here, and I'm going to ask her to turn into the wall and hopefully bring her shoulders around and put some more weight on her hind end. So the benefit of doing that against the wall is that I don't have to pull back with my reins, and she's naturally going to want to set herself back on her hind end and get the shoulder around so she doesn't run herself into the wall. So it allows us to just focus on the aid to turn on the haunches. Then we do a little bit more warm-up with some pulls, more pulls than she's ever done in a row, so she does pretty good with them. It's not entirely balanced and even, but we work through it, and these exercises are helping her top line and her pace that she's doing at the trot. And you can see there's still a little bit of that concern lingering from when we transition from the bit work to the hackmore work, but all in all, she has a lot less of those self-soothing behaviors. Next, I practice with her down a couple different lines of the arena. So you can think about splitting the arena in halves or in quarters. So I'm going to take her down the center line, which helps us see whether she is actually going straight because she's not using the wall as support for her straightness. So she has to really listen to the rider and the leg to make sure she goes in a straight line down the center line, basically. And this is practice for a future dressage test. We come into a halt, and it's pretty soft and pretty square, so we're happy with that. And I do a little practice salute. She turns and looks at me like, what was that all about? And then here's where things start to get a little freaky. So right here, she's licking and chewing. We actually, in that the pre-clip to what we're talking about now, she was just coming down from a trot into a halt, and then her ears prick up and start to go in the air. And if she looks over in the corner, it's something spooky. I don't know what it is at this point. I'm thinking she's being a little silly, but I mean, she was pretty big scared. I could feel her heartbeat. She was breathing really loud, pretty upset. So regardless of what it is, I'm thinking, we're going to work through it. It looked to me like she was spooking at her halter over there on that side of the arena, which is super weird because we come in and we stand in the same place every day while I'm adjusting tack. I do it with all my horses, so I pretty much use that same little area she's looking at for my flag, my lariat rope. I lay the halter there once I put the bridle on or the hackmore on, and they're all super used to standing there, so it seems really strange for her to be scared of what's going on over there. Not to mention, we've already done 15 minutes of warm-up and passed by that wall multiple times with no incident. So, horses do silly things. I'm thinking, maybe it looked like a snake or something coiled up there that had her concerned. At any rate, I do a couple different approaches to try to calm her down and get her more comfortable with it. So it's essentially called successive approximation. So the best practice is to walk them up to the thing they're nervous about until they start to feel like they're getting close to their threshold, and then to reset to an area that's less scary. So we turn away from the objects that's scaring them, let them, and you could see there her head and neck came down and she was able to take a couple breaths, and then we reset and try to reapproach. And we do this over and over again until she gets more comfortable with it. And this is ubiquitous. You could use this in any situation, and it really helps build trust. It is a better way of doing things than just to force them up to see an object. Forcing them up there just means, you as a human are adding even more pressure onto something that's already legitimately scaring them. And there, I started to get scared because the Pivo camera turned itself to the area that was scaring her. And now I'm like, okay, so is something really over there? I'm a little worried now. Maybe it is a ghost, So Pivo cameras are notorious for tracking off of horses, but the fact that the Pivo got confused or turned itself over in that direction that she was already scared of was super creepy. So now I'm like, all right, well, maybe she does see something over there. Maybe she's not being silly. I don't know if we're in a ghost situation here, but not today, Satan. We're gonna get through this. So we we are a little bit closer up here. You can see her licking and chewing. She's calming herself down, but she's still very concerned. So we do a couple more reapproaches, try to work through it. And I do eventually have to get off. I get off and lead her up there to it, and we both decide, we're going to be okay. And then I get back on her and see if we can't go approach it again from the saddle. And she is a brave girl. Sprinkle some holy water on it. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was creepy. It's never happened before. Maybe it's a ghost, maybe it's not. But we made it through the day, and it worked out all right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.